In the world of politics, there are battles fought on the ground, in the media, and sometimes in the minds of the world's most powerful leaders. But what happens when two of the most controversial and strategic minds, Donald Trump and Ibrahim Traoré, square off in a battle of intellect? One comes from the world of Western media and power, the other from the heart of African military leadership. What would happen if these two forces collided? Let's break it down. On one hand, we have Donald Trump, a businessman turned political icon, a man whose political strategy has been as bold as his business empire. Known for his sharp remarks, unpredictable behavior, and a style that often flouts traditional norms, Trump's strategy, a mix of media manipulation, populist rhetoric, and the art of distraction. He's played the American political system like a game of chess, but is his intellectual game as sharp as it seems? On the other side, we have Ibrahim Traoré, a man who's redefined leadership in Africa. A military officer with a keen sense of strategic thinking, Traoré rose to power in Burkina Faso after a rapid and intense military coup. In a region where instability often reigns, he's been lauded for his sharp mind and quick decision-making under pressure. Traoré doesn't have the luxury of playing politics on TV. His decisions are life or death, and his battlefield is real. So what would happen if these two figures, so different in their approaches, were to face each other in a battle of intellect? Imagine the scene. A high-stakes debate, where the topic is, who's the sharpest? Trump's political savvy, his media manipulation, and his ability to read public sentiment, versus Traoré's military brilliance, his ability to make high-pressure decisions, and his understanding of African geopolitics. Trump steps up to the podium, prepared to do what he does best, make headlines and manipulate the room. He begins with a familiar move, rallying the crowd, speaking in broad strokes and using his forceful style to dominate the conversation. But wait, here comes Traoré, the strategic mind who operates on a completely different level. No need for theatrics, no need to play to the crowd. His strength lies in a kind of cold, calculated decision-making, honed by military training and dealing with high-stakes situations where every decision matters. And then, boom. In just 3 minutes, Trump collapses, not physically, but intellectually. The speed at which Traoré dismantles Trump's approach is almost poetic. Why did Trump collapse so quickly? It's simple. While Trump thrives in an environment built on media chaos and public opinion, he lacks the intellectual endurance for high-level, tactical decision-making in a real crisis. Traoré, however, is built for this kind of pressure. He's not just playing for votes or headlines, he's playing for survival. His ability to read a situation, understand the key players, and make quick, decisive moves is what separates him from Trump. When you're dealing with the immediacy of military strategy, there's no room for distractions or grandiose speeches. Every second counts. Trump might be a master of manipulating public perception, but Traoré is a master of controlling reality. And in the battle of minds, it's not always about the loudest voice, it's about the sharpest strategy. So what does this showdown really tell us? It's not just about Trump or Traoré. It's about the different ways leaders approach power, strategy, and decision-making in a complex world. Trump represents a certain style of Western leadership, media-driven, populist, and sometimes more about spectacle than substance. Traoré represents a new kind of African leadership, one focused on survival, military power, and a deep understanding of regional politics. In the end, the intellectual collapse of Trump in this hypothetical scenario is a reflection of the changing dynamics of global leadership. The future isn't about who can speak the loudest or look the best on TV. It's about who can make the right moves when the stakes are at their highest. The question now is, how will Western leaders like Trump adapt to a changing world, one where military leaders and strategic thinkers like Traoré are taking charge, where the speed of decision-making is the key to survival? As Africa rises on the global stage, will the old guard of political theater be enough to hold its ground, or will the sharp, calculated minds of the new generation take the lead? Only time will tell. If you found this analysis intriguing, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Join the conversation about the future of global politics and stay tuned for more deep dives into the leaders shaping our world. Until next time, stay sharp.